Saru has no idea. This
I have no idea.
This is an old thumbnail. Let me get to the right one.
This is a surprise for me, guys.
We're interviewing the NBA All-Stars.
Oh no. What does that even mean?
So obviously, for some reason, they haven't invited me to interview at All-Star Weekend. For some reason.
What a surprise.
What a surprise. So what I wanted to do was the 10 top voted NBA players. We've gone through 5 already.
Yep.
What would you ask them given the opportunity? So we'll start you off, Saru.
So I'm asking the question.
Yes.
Okay.
That's Steph. Given the opportunity, Steph Curry, Saru, Cerveza in the same room.
And I'm asking a question.
What do you say?
Does it have to be relevant to like...
Give me
NBA
something. Give me something.
Okay.
Give me something relevant.
I was going to ask, how does it feel to be in a team for the first time that's not stacked and struggling to carry? Like, what does it feel like?
Are you acting like he didn't have struggling days where we were worried about his NBA career with his injuries and the state of the earlier Warriors teams? Like, what?
No, but not
the casuals forget so quickly.
No, but we haven't seen Steph miss, or what was it, miss a 3-pointer in 4 years, and the man's just gone like cold. And he's ruining my fantasy team. You know what? That's my question.
Okay.
Why are you ruining my fantasy team?
Okay.
After going number 1 draft.
Did you see that video of one of the fans they let into the room ask Ja Morant? They're talking shit about you. They're saying Brunson's better. That's what you sound like right now.
Well, yeah.
Can you have some composure and just ask a serious question that gets you somewhere in life?
I mean, I could ask about shooting technique, but is it really gonna change
Rub
my...
off.
I'm just hoping that, like at 24 years old, at 5'5", that my NBA career blossoms after I become a shooter. I don't know. A man can hope, okay? A man can hope. Even if I can shoot 1-3 in like those local league games.
That's respectable because Jono's questions were like, do you think you have a chance in the playoffs? Like, what would you change about your team? And Sarah's just said, nah, my fantasy team's shit and I still can't shoot the ball.
Yeah. Help a brother out. Hey, you're not getting one-on-one coaching from Steph Curry any other time, so I might as well take that.
Second player for the day, Luka, triple-double Doncic. Dallas Mavericks' finest, leading the team to hopefully another playoffs run. What do you feel about that?
I feel like this question's actually been asked quite a bit, but it's on a surface level, and I would want to hear like a more deeper level on idea on the difference between playing in Europe and thing, because it's not just, I know he's explained in interviews saying that, like the defense, the
3-second rule,
all of
whatever,
that. Yeah. But not everyone that comes from Europe dominates like Luka.
They acted like it was a rule of thumb, right?
Yeah, it's not. And it's not just like all European players just because NBA is easy. It's not that. So there's something in Luka's game that worked in Europe and worked in, in NBA. That didn't work for every other NBA. So I would want to get into his head and kind of like see what he changed in his game style. But again, all in hope for my NBA career starting at 24.
I'll answer with another question. What's one thing Carmelo Anthony and Luka Doncic have in common? They're fat. They're thick boys. Saru.
We're gonna get
That's the
cancelled,
difference. That's the difference between him and all the other guys.
We're going to get cancelled.
They're body positive bodies.
Sure. We will go with that.
Okay. Luka, the difference between him and every other point guard facilitator you see coming from Europe is not only the size, vertically, but the actual lateral size he has, the weight he has to put into these motions, the stop-startedness. If you freeze with him, he will body through you, through the contact. He absorbs contact better than a lot of people think because of how nimble he can move.
Which is actually quite interesting because they don't associate too much of a physical style of play. It's more just beautiful ball passing in Europe, just the plays. All of that is what they usually say in Europe.
That's the flip side of having that defensive 3-second rule. When you get in the paint and you want to score in the paint, you have to be an absolute menace.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the difference maker I think that Luka has over the other players. Player number 3, Saru, you've got Tyrese, the new boy on the block, actually injured. I don't know.
Tyrese?
I don't know if he's going to play. He's out with a hamstring injury now. Tyrese Halliburton, Indiana Pacers finest. What are you asking?
I know. Again, something he's talked about a little bit. How much that trade affected him. Did you see yourself? At the moment, do you see yourself a better fit in Sacramento or Indiana? I think it's an obvious answer, being Indiana. But at the same time, Sacramento, he would be competing. So, if there was
would he be competing without a Sabonis? Like, if your center was still, who do they trade over to the Mavs?
Rashawn
Holmes. If that was your center? If Alex Len was your center, how do you upgrade that position if you still have Tyrese?
I mean, they could have made other moves. It's just more about just like this. It's more about which situation he would prefer.
Like building as the main guy or being part of something bigger.
Something that could have been a great team. Like
I think the winner in him will say, "I want to be part of the better team." He wouldn't turn down a trade. He wouldn't turn down a trade to a better team. The weird thing with Tyrese though, I haven't read fully into it. Did you know that? To be honest, I don't even agree with this being a thing. But he told several teams not to draft him.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because me personally, like, if you're gonna get a high draft pick and you want someone, it was just weird. It was just weird.
It was weird. I get it, but I didn't mind it because, like, if you want to go into a situation that you like, you rather do that. At the end of the day, like, going high in the draft means nothing. Like, let's be honest.
To the player means nothing. But as a system, right, we reward, unfortunately, teams that perform bad by giving them the high picks. If you start seeing these requests followed through on, I know teams still have the final say.
Yeah.
But it's just a weird sort of mentality to have, like, I would only want to be in this, or this, not how can I serve this, or this team? They need me. It's a little flippant mindset that I would like to see. And I'm sure more than valid reason not to join some NBA teams the way they're run.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's a player empowerment era. That's just the where we're at right now.
Right.
Giannis and
Two
KD.
more players, Giannis and KD, the matchup that we've loved to see over the years. Giannis, I'm not going to pronounce his last name because I will inevitably fuck it up.
Antetokounmpo. I got it, I think.
Yeah. What's he getting at the end of the season? Championship? No championship?
No championship for
Okay.
sure. I mean, they're still struggling. All of that's happening.
I don't think that's how you lead an interview question. I don't think you're going to win the championship.
I mean, he's going to start calling me out for, like, how every season's not a failure. How, you go to your job, you don't get a promotion. Like, anyway, the question I'll probably ask him, I don't know if anyone's asked him this actually, where he sees himself in NBA history at this point and where he sees himself in NBA history, by the end of the career. Because for me, in argument, I've already got him as the second best power forward already in history.
Okay.
Tim Duncan tops it. I've already got him the second best power forward. Now, again, I don't know if he makes top 10. Like, I have to think, definitely not top 10 for now in all time. But I would like, he's going to say he's up there.
Look, I think, with a bit of truth serum, you might get the truth out of him. But in a press conference, he's going to say, well, they're all great players and I'm just humbled to be a part of this.
Yeah.
If we do a little bit of Thanos truth serum, we might get something a little bit more legit out of him. And you say top two, guy that came to my mind was Dirk.
Yes, great.
And it's similar storylines, and that's let's be honest, that's all it is. It's about championships, it's about MVPs, and it's about storylines. And with me, Giannis and Dirk, similar storylines right now. Really heavy rings in terms of what they did with the team around them.
Yeah.
And with Dirk in 2011, same sort of situation. Dirk has the MVPs, Giannis has the MVPs. But defense.
Yes, I was exactly about to get there. No one has,
proper two-way influence.
Exactly. Defensive player of the year and MVP in the same year. LeBron hasn't done it. LeBron still hasn't done it. I just want you to know. But yeah, he hasn't done it. So, and Giannis has done it. That's huge.
I don't hate it. I need a full list. I'm not the sort of guy to just rattle out names. They've quizzed me in the past. I have failed. I need my names. I need a list.
Fair
I
enough.
need a thorough think. But hey, if you can get the truth out of one of these players, you might see the truth out of a lot more of the players, like you see the retired ones. And the shame with Giannis, shame with a lot of these guys is they disappear. They live their own lives. I love it, but we don't get to see them around the game. Tim Duncan, you don't hear from him.
Yeah.
Giannis, you probably won't hear from him. It meant something to
Follow
them.
Lockdown Sports, guys. We have better content.
All right. Last player. I wonder who it is. Kevin Durant.
I mean, again, I would need truth serum. I feel like there's
Mm.
a couple of questions I would want to ask KD.
Mm.
All right. First one's the most obvious one. Again, truth serum.
If this is anywhere Golden State OKC related, I'm like...
Would you... Okay, I have to know. Would you do the move
Again.
knowing all the hate?
Yes. Yes, he would.
But he's
Two
someone,
championships, 2 finals. Oh, bro. Yes.
But he's someone who cares so much about his opinion of fans.
Yes.
So you still think he does it?
Yes.
Being 100% truth.
Because his life is painful regardless. He's a celebrity. He's caught up in this world of attention deficit where he matters so much to other people and people don't really matter to him that fuck with him so much. Like, he's always going to be in this perennial dilemma of being a superstar icon. No matter where he goes, that hate could happen regardless.
Okay.
Not to that extent, but he'll feel hate. He feels hate. Fucking people talking about his off-ball work, people talking about him not being doubled. That's human. That's human nature. That won't
different.
go away.
I
He'll
feel
still
like-
experience that.
I feel like the hate he got for that Golden State move
Life or death.
was quite big.
Yeah.
It was as big as the LeBron move to Miami. The other question would be, what's not working in Phoenix
Yeah.
and in part in Brooklyn as well? Like, it
What
didn't work.
what I was thinking was to literally ask him, how involved have you been in, I guess, both of those, right? Both of those roster creations.
Yeah.
Because you look at Phoenix in particular, we've talked about it. Point guard, point guard, point guard. Just get a point guard.
Yeah.
But I've taken, I've blamed players now for poor roster creation because I feel like they have a say. You know,
I do.
You
I
get
agree.
your big trade to your trade destination, and then you get Bradley Beal. Surely you have at least a veto on these sort of things to say no to certain things. Because you look at Bradley Beal, roster might have actually been better with CP.
I mean, CP was
CP
quite injured, quite old.
But you have someone running the point.
No, I get that. I get
Just
that.
any point guard would have been better. And you look at what happened in Brooklyn, the whole veteran situation, Blake Griffin, Jeff Green, all those guys. And then you look at the sudden emergence of Claxton. You see what Jared Allen's doing at Cleveland. You see everyone else succeed and think maybe it would have been better without James Harden, or maybe you find a way to do it keeping Jared Allen. What do you think he'd say if we ask him point blank, how much of a role have you had?
I mean, in public,
with the truth serum.
With the truth serum, with the truth serum, he would have to say that, you know, he's had influence and he's made mistakes. I think that's what that's what you have to say, because there's no way. And I know I'm saying Lawrence again, but like, I know he also believes that LeBron doesn't play a role in these trades.
LeBron's known. I want to know if KD is at that level of like, yo, we're running things my way. Like, often Kevin Durant has been painted or found himself in situations where he's the outsider, where he's the non-communicative one, where things have already been in operation and he's just tagging along. And that's the thing, as the outsider, that does pose that other question, I guess.
It's difficult to believe that because of the OKC to Golden State trade, the Golden State to Brooklyn free agency. I guess the Phoenix one, he didn't have too many options, so fair enough, he chose Phoenix as the best situation. But every other move was really, really structured by him. He planned it. Him and Kyrie, like,
free agency both times, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, OKC, that was free agency, and then Golden State's.
yeah, but like both
Free
was like planned. Like, it wasn't like a accident thing. He's talked to Steph before. He's talked to people before. Same with Blake Griffin. I'm pretty sure Blake Griffin came out and said
that was planned. That was planned, I think.
So,
But is Phoenix, are we giving that the same criticism?
I would think so, because I don't except for those rare GMs, there's not many people out there who can do that. So, yes, short answer, yes, KD definitely was involved.
Perfect. Anyways, stay tuned, fellas. Subscribe for more. This is Lockdown Sports, the home of all your basketballing content. Stay tuned.